Hey, Brad, not often you see a player try to get a switch on to Defensive Player of the Year. So what were you guys going for on that last play, and how did you feel winning the game on a banked-in three?
Well, all day long, or a lot of the day, they weren't switching. You saw they did some late, but not every time. And so you're just trying to create confusion with Smart's cut. They did a good job handling it, although I thought Smart might have had a window there for the pass to drive it or play off of it, because both guys initially, edged towards Tatum. But then Tatum's a good offensive player. He can get his shot up. It was a well-challenged shot. It was a well-defended shot. We, I guess we were lucky it went in, but it was a great game that presented a lot of situations and things that NBA basketball with, when you're playing against a good opponent provides.
Mark D'Amico.
Hey, Coach, where did you see the most significant improvements from Friday night's loss to close out the preseason?
I thought we were more structured and purposeful on offense. I'd say that's the only area.
Brian Robb.
Brad, you guys obviously had fair share of struggles in the fourth quarter down the bubble during the postseason there. Just the poise you guys showed tonight in that fourth quarter, obviously late there to pull this out. How encouraging was that for you?
Good. You're going to be in those situations. That was not a trend for us prior to the last couple weeks of the bubble. That was something that we were usually pretty good in fourth quarters. At least at the start of last year, we had our moments where we had struggles, but you're going to be in games like that. And you know what? Like if Giannis hits those threes, those pull-up threes and those catch-and-shoot threes, they're going to make a comeback because we're certainly not going to outrun him on those. And so credit him for that, credit them for that. And we hung in there and we took a good hit and kept ticking. It was good.
Keith Smith.
Brad, you mentioned more structure to the offense after some sloppiness in the preseason. Was limiting turnovers a focus over the last few days? You only had 6 tonight as a team.
Yeah, I mean, we don't, I think it's really easy to say limit turnovers. I'd say we talk about it in terms of, being tough on every catch, fighting for every space, for an inch on every space, making sure you deliver the ball, taking pride in delivering the ball, realizing how you're being defended and take advantage of it accordingly. All those things are what we would say instead of limit turnovers, I guess. Because if you're playing with that purpose, then that takes care of itself. But we have to play with, you saw last night, Brooklyn forced a ton of them, got runouts and got going. We already were terrible transition defensive-wise. So, if we turned it over tonight, it would have been a real show.
Mark Murphy.
Hi, Brad. You talked in Tristan's first couple of practices about just how much he seemed to change the level of action activity. Just how much did he impact it tonight? And was 22 minutes what his restriction was?
Yeah, he was right at 20 to 22 minutes. He wanted more. I've learned over the years that my job is to smile and not to really listen when a guy wants to play more and he's on a minutes restriction. Not my role. But he did a good job. He fought for position. He guarded Giannis. It's hard to not play for 9 months and then have to guard Giannis and play against Lopez on the interior on the other end.
Jerry Washburn.
Hey, Brett, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Jayson played only 33 minutes compared to 38 for Smart and Brown. Was he laboring a little bit? Was he injured or dinged up a little bit? Why did you limit him in the first half especially?
Because that group was rolling when he was out. So, if we're getting stops and scoring, that's a good time for him to get a rest. So I just, I've got his set times. I've got their set times where I think going into a game, they may play, and then, you base it on how the flow of the game is going at that point. You can steal minutes at any time for those three right now. We're going to have to do it.
Final question for Coach John Corrales.
Brad, you went double big to start. How did you think that went, and was that a function of going up against Milwaukee's length?
It was a function of I was really upset with how we played up to this point, and I wanted to start a very, very good defensive lineup, and we have to play a lot better at that end still.